welcome back to my craft room. It's February 12th, so these are some really quick last-minute Valentine's gifts you can make for your special someone or your kids. What I used first, the die cuts that I used are this one, the little bird and the bird cage. The repositional ones, they have little magnets on them. This one, and the large heart. Where is it? And it's literally just called Scalloped Heart by Sizzix. And oh, here it is. Hang on. I had my iPad sitting on it because I was watching this scary movie. That really wasn't that scary. But anyway, this one. Can you see the Scalloped Heart there? So those are the two die cuts that I used. And again, you can use whatever die cuts you wanted, but that's what I used. So then I found online a 2-inch box or 5-centimeter box. And you see the score lines for scoring it and folding it. Pretty simple to do. The next thing I had was my choice of scrapbook paper. We all have that. And I am just confident and very persistent about using what's in my stash. So I am so not up to date to the what is hip and happening. But what I want to show you here is how I assembled the cardboard onto the thingy here, because the score lines were not transferred, as you can see. So I just imagine that I've glued this piece on so it becomes one piece. And what I simply did is I took a steel ruler, I went from notch to notch, and I took a stylus, and I literally just dragged it across like that a couple times, because the card stock is pretty strong. Actually, I don't need the paper underneath because you guys know that we're pretending that it's already glued on. Then I went from up here at the very top and matched up the notches with the ruler. Kind of like so. And I just went boom, boom, boom. That one's a little out, I can tell. But you get my drift. So you just do that on both sides. Because I always find sometimes, unless somebody shows you how they put a box together, it can seem so simple, but sometimes it's not. So yeah, matched up the notches. And then the only other one was the one right here. So everywhere pretty much there's a notch. Just place your ruler and then just score along that. And right here at the little lip of the box, so just put it on the two straight edges. That's going to be your little box brim. There. Then what I did is I obviously folded in all of my scored lines. I know this might be, see, I missed one right there. Scoring 101 for some people, but for me, I'm kind of one of those people. I am so visual. I have to see things even if I've done it 100 times. There. So then we're going to score all these in and make sure they're all scored and press on them really good. And like that. Hang on a second. That one's a little crooked. Actually, I didn't even score it that well. That's why it's not folding. There. And there we've got our little crooked rim to our lid. And then I took red sticky tape or some other really strong tape that you know is not going to fall apart. And this is always the best for me. I find it, I only use it for stuff like this when I'm putting boxes together. So on the bottom one that has all these flaps over, the top only has the two and the brim. So no tape goes up there. The tape only goes on these four down here. So one there. And you just keep doing that around those four on the bottom. Okay, I can see my camera's a little crooked there. Okay, so I pulled the red off of 3 of them, so this is the last one here. I'm just going to pull that red little tapey thing off. Of course, it came off super easy on the other 3. Then you're just next going to fold that one up like so, line it up, stick it down, fold that one like so. So you got one side of your box. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. There. And then remember, our box is all covered in pretty, pretty, pretty paper. So you end up with something that looks like that. See? Little treat box. So you could use that box for a multitude of things. Bazillion things. But that's the main part of our little treat box. So then I went on to cover up both sides of our scallop heart. Now this cardboard is totally different than this. This is cardstock. This was cardboard from cereal box, pizza box, so it's a little bit firmer and harder, okay? This would be too hard to fold in, I think, and to get all your creases and everything really nicely if it was too thick. So this is just regular scrapbook cardstock, okay? So I've covered both sides of this little birdie. I have 2 hearts. I've covered both sides of those. And then, before I assemble it, I just want to show you quickly what you can do with this. Now, we have our little bird cage and our little bird, and I'm just going to quickly add some Wink of Stella on it. If I can find it, it's right here. So shake it up really good and just add brush it with some Wink of Stella, just so, actually I'll do this side. So it has a little bit of sparkle to it. I don't even know if you guys can see it on the camera because it's black, but can you see the sparkles a bit? I mean, I can see it really, really well. The only reason I flipped it over, because it was curved, it sort of looked like it had a natural curve. Be easier to glue down when I go to glue it down. And I'm going to do my birdie as well. There we go. So I'm going to let those dry. And while those are drying, I'm going to take all this stuff. I kind of giggle because it's such old school scrapbook supplies that we used to use back in the day. But you know what? We have to remember, this stuff is still handy. Don't throw it away. It comes in handy. So I have some of these red squirrely things from the dollar store. So I'm going to use one of them. I don't need both. But I'm going to just put one kind of in that corner there. Or actually, I might just go ahead and go nuts and use both of them, I think. Let's just see what happens. So just peel it carefully off of this plastic, as you know, or it'll end up being a blobby mess. And we're just going to apply it to whatever corner you feel will work the best for you on your heart. These little treat boxes are so reminiscent of the old-fashioned wooden candy boxes you used to get. Well, I know Richard gave me one. I still have it. And I've done this video years ago, but in that video I said I was going to make it into like a memoirs box with stuff. So I did start, but I never got it finished. So that's a job for me. And then I'm just going to unstick this part here where it got kind of, I don't know what I did here. Oh well, I'll just cut it off. It's kind of a blobby mess right there, so I'm just going to cut that little blob off. Come on, scissors. There. And then just kind of put it down in kind of a cute little fashion. And we'll try and bring this up so I don't have to cut it. I'll just move it like that. There. So you can see that. So I don't know if I'll add the other one. Well, I could have done that. Couldn't I have? I sure could have. But that would mean I'm only going to use the top part. I'm not using the entire thing. I'm just going to go right down to that gem there and cut it off. So I'm just using this. Why waste stuff? Because I end up using my stuff. I'm such a cheapskate. I don't care if it's in style or not. If I still have stuff in my stash, why wouldn't I use it? Was that how that went? Uh-oh. It was in a Y shape. What did you do, Monica? Hmm? I don't know what I did, you guys. Oh, here it is. I think that's it. Nope. Oh, well, I'm just going to add another little piece in there, just so it's joined right there. So, because I really have no idea what I did. I told you guys, I'm visual. I have to see it, and the minute it's out of sight, out of mind, you know? Let me get this fixed, and I'll be back. There. So I just kind of took some pieces and just made some kind of little design in that corner. The next thing I'm going to do is take my little bird cage, and I am going to get rid of my caged birds. So there's 4 prongs here. I'm just using the middle 3. I'm snipping them at different lengths. I'm going to take the head of this thingy and just roll it up. You could use a needle or anything, but I'm just going to use this little stylus thing and just roll back the bars so we can let our bird fly free. And there we go. Okay, I'll hold this up close so you can see what I did. See how I curled back the bars so our birdie is free to come and go as she pleases. So we're going to glue that down and then glue our birdie maybe around here. Now this is just the way I did this. You guys can do whatever you want, but when it's last minute, it's kind of fun. If you have this stuff, just go ahead and whip a couple of these up tonight. Do you know what I mean? And you'll be set. I'm just going to use the craft glue. I actually went to Dollar Tree and bought an entire case of this glue. I love it that much. And I mean, I use it right down to there's nothing left. I cut the bottles in half like this. And I use a spatula thing and a craft knife. And I just scrape every little bit out of there because it's amazing. I haven't used a glue gun in I don't even know how long, because I find this works way better for me and for the projects I've been doing. So I'm going to press that down, and then I'm going to put some glue on the back of my bird and just kind of sit her at the entrance of the cage there. And we'll just put her little feet there, and she can sort of sit like that. I want to get the cage out of the way. Come on, little birdie. Let's get under these bars. There you go. The movie I was watching was called Ritual, about these guys that went hiking in the mountains in Sweden. It was so, sometimes, you know what? Movies are so far-fetched, as if that would ever happen. That's why I'm not afraid of horror movies, because they're not real. The only kind I get nervous about is movies about demons or the devil or demonic possession. Those kinds scare me. But stuff that is monsters. It's just ridiculous. It's entertaining, kills time, you know? Alright, so my birdie's all glued down. I've got all my glue boogers off. So there, so now we have a rhinestone and a birdie on top and a cage. So next, let's add some flower elements on this. I mean, it's Valentine's Day after all. So I've got this pretty green flower. I've got a red flower. Let's see. Oh, my flowers came in from Wild Orchid today. I was so happy. These are kind of yellowy greeny, but they kind of go with that paper. And what's so cool about this project, this paper has nothing to do with Valentine's Day, but you can just make it work with all the stuff you're adding onto it and what you're doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and glue all these flowers down in kind of a cute little arrangement. So there, I've glued down 5 flowers. And I mean, this is a whole lot of stuff on a little tiny heart. But what the heck, it's Valentine's Day. Do you know what I'm saying? Who cares? So I am going to take now some stick pins. These are so old. Remember these? Chloe's Closet, Make It Memory. Making memories. So I think I'll take the blue and, well, maybe I'll take the blue flower and the yellow, those, and I'll put a little bit of glue on the end of them. You know what? I'm going to snip them. Hang on. So I'm going to get my wire cutters out of my little kit here, and I'm just going to snip these off because they're just a little bit too long. And remember to close your eyes, turn away, put glasses on, protect your eyes always. So now that I've shortened my little pins here, I'm going to take, look at this knife. This is from me digging in here. But I mean, these knives are so cheap. So I'm just going to stick the little end part with a bit of a glue glob on the end of it. A pin and stick it kind of up in here. Then I don't have to worry about a little pin coming out, you know, poking somebody or the kids playing with it, and then they pull out the pin. Make sure it's really glued in there. And stick this one in kind of like, kind of over there. 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 See? Can we make this any more gaudy? I think it's cute. So then the next thing I'm going to do, I've got this little pearly buttony thing, and I'm just going to put some of this glue here on the back. I might as well use up what I have instead of using the new one. And I'm just going to press that right on top of the bird cage. So for all intents and purposes, this puppy is fini. Now I'm going to take the next section. Remember our box that we covered up and made into a little box like this? Now it's covered, and it's also been glued on top of the other heart. There were 2 of them. There was this one and this one, covered on both sides with paper. Okay? So I glued my box on top of here, making sure the opening is right here at the point. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to take some ribbon, and I'm going to use this beautiful ribbon. Christina Betts gave me this ribbon in this jar. She sent it to me, I don't even know how many years ago, and I have used it so much. So right now I'm just going to take some of this ribbon and glue it around the base of my box, leaving enough to tie. So I've glued that all the way around. It's not quite dry, so you can see through there. And then I'm going to take a little piece of this beautiful lace with pearls on it. I don't know when I got it or where, but I've had it for a long time. Leaving the tie parts kind of close to the front because I want to tie a bow. I'm going to glue this all the way around on top of my ribbon. So there is the little box with the bow and the lace. I didn't glue that straight. So the very last thing now is to glue our lid on. So I'm just going to take my glue right here, just put it on the lid part, smear it all around. There. I love these glues. I don't know how many times I can say it. I mean, they come with a cap. What? Then I am going to adhere the top on to the bottom of the box, like so. Making sure it's all lined up evenly. The bottoms are the same. So I'm just going to just let that dry and I will be back. So here are my finished Valentine treat boxes. Are these not adorable? Like, I mean, come on. This one I had sequins that were in the shape of a heart. And I put roses and the pins and the same birdie. And then this one, I used pearls, and I put a pearl on the top of the bird cage. You can see that Wing Castella on there. I think that's pearly pin or pearly whatever, but I ran out of it. And I put some on the birds, and you see the little stick pins there. And you can see the ribbon around. So I used pink on that one. And I used a really beautiful blue on this one. This one, it's got reds and pearls there. And I mean, they're so reminiscent of those old-fashioned bigger boxes, but who wouldn't love to receive these? And this is the one I just did. It's not quite dry. So all you simply do is the lid is the top of the box, you see? And you can put some pretty tissue and even a Lindor chocolate or a pair of earrings or whatever you want to do. And then just, it closes right up. It's hard to close with one hand, but it does close like right there. Oops, just like a box. And there you have it, a little Valentine treat box. So I want to give one to my daughter and to Janet and to my neighbor, because these people have been so helpful to me. Just, you know, without even expectation. Like, can I take you here? Can I drive you here? Can I do this for you? You know, and they would never think that I would go get them a Valentine box chocolates, but I can sure make one. So, yeah, you guys should give this a try. Honestly, it doesn't take long at all. And if I had had spray adhesive, oh, it would have been bam, bam, thank you, ma'am. Just slap that stuff on, all of this on the box, fold the box, you're good to go. And if you don't have a bird cage and a little bird, use what you have. You have a million punches. You could use that punch right there, that bird one. Or you could use the flowers. Like, we have stuff in our stash you could use. There's so many things. We all have flowers, pins, probably that pearly stuff. It's just fun. And if you don't have a scalloped heart, draw 2 heart shapes out of cereal box. You can use scallop scissors to go around if you want, but you don't have to. And just put one on the top of the box and one on the bottom. So, I hope you like this. Now I'm going to go on and do a little bit of quick Valentine cards for them. So, I'll be right back. Okay, I purchased these 12 by 12 sheets from the Urban Scrapbooker, and I think I told you guys that, but they make the quickest cards. So like this one, Hello My Friend, that's going to be for Janet, and let's see, You Are My Happy Place, that's probably going to be for Deanne. And then I can use the flip sides of some of this for the base of the card, you know what I mean? and just put it on craft card paper right here. And boom, got some Valentines to go with their boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and whip these up really fast. So I quickly whipped up these 2 cards from the squares on the card. So this one's going to be for Deanne. You are so lovely. And these are Prima flower centers, but I just used them as a border all the way down to try to incorporate all the colors that I saw in there. And then I just used some of my spray with a paintbrush and painted those white roses blue. And then I used one of those. And that pretty flower, I don't know where it came from. It's kind of plasticky. It's kind of neat. And then I didn't do any inking or anything like that. These are quick ones. And this one's for Janet. It says, hello, my friend. And this was actually a strip of bling. It's all one piece, that beigey one. So I tied it in with these beige flowers, and these kind of have a little bit of orangey red in them to go with those flowers. And yeah, those are their 2 Valentine cards to go with their little treat boxes. So these are some very quick and super easy, fun things to quickly whip up tonight or even tomorrow morning on Valentine's Day. Doesn't take long, you guys. You can get all your stuff out tonight and get up in the morning and whip some of this up. So I hope you enjoyed this quick tutorial, and thank you so much for watching. Now I have to run to the dollar store and get some candies or something to put inside of these hearts. I think they're so cute. So thanks for watching, and a very happy Valentine's Day to those who believe. Very happy Candy Day. And happy Love Day to everybody, just 'cause. Just 'cause. And we'll see you next time. Bye.